So from Tantra Foundation, JRC and Morrison here, and we are here with Miss Neera Lopchen Lama, ma'am. She has come from London, and she's taking care of. She's the Chief Advisor of the West Bengal Government in Tamang Development and Cultural Board. So, ma'am, if we talk about your activities here of cultural integration and how to propagate Buddhism, not only ecotourism, but also worldwide mingling with the community, if you can just explain us.
Yeah. Tashidalek, my name is Neera, as you know.
Yes.
I am the Chief Advisor of West Bengal Tamang Development and Cultural Board, and I am also the regional head for the World Alliance of Buddhists with our headquarters in Thailand.
Yes.
My regional center is in Kalimpong, and obviously the reason why we are here in Kolkata today is because we are trying primarily to keep our Buddhist heritage together, integrate as much as we can with people from all walks of life in India and abroad, and obviously bring back the glory of what Buddhism was initially, because as we all know, we live in a country called India, which is the heart, the decadent heart of Buddhism lies here in India, especially in Nalanda, the tradition where everything of Buddhism started there, really. So my job, basically as a Buddhist, I would call myself a lay person. I'm not exactly like a scholar, or you might call me a monk or anything like that. But in Buddhism, we don't have any such specifications. You could still be a normal person, and if you follow the philosophy of Buddhism, you might be able to be a better human being, and that is the end goal. So me coming from a tribal community, which is in the heart of the Himalayas, I am a Tamang. Tamangs are a tribe which is very unique to other tribes, because initially, before the coming on of the Himalayan Buddhism of Guru Padma Sambhava coming in, as you know, Bon religion was the actual Bon. Was that's correct. Yes, that was the authentic religion there. Yes, it was there, and it was more or less, in those times changed, right? So in those days, Bonism involved more of paganistic rituals and shamanism and all that, which included a lot of killing and everything, which sacrifices, which I think for that time that was appropriate, because obviously evolution of civilization or the minds wouldn't have got too far then. However, in the 6th century, when Guru Padma Sambhava came to Tibet on the invitation of the 30th king, Tertons. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be sat along with people who know about this. He went there, and he, along with Sankarakshita, along with 108 different scholars, was responsible for building the first monastery, the Samye monastery in Tibet. And thereafter, they translated all the Sanskrit texts into Boti language, which is now the major, the religious texts that are read in the Himalayan regions.
Also like a premonition, like his mother had seen.
Yeah, well, in divinity, when you talk about all our divine spiritual leaders, like Buddha, when he was born, there were several indications that he was going to be a very special
white elephant.
Yes, exactly. Very similar for Guru Padma Sambhava, because we consider him to be the Buddha of Vajra, that is what we follow. And Guru Padma Sambhava has already been mentioned by Buddha himself during his parinirvana, that he would be coming back. Now the story of Guru Padma Sambhava is really kind of quite mythical and mysterious and magical. I like to relate it to like how, when you had the knights in the table, and you had King Arthur, and you had Merlin and all those things, and I think that is very, very similar. I feel very close to Guru Padma Sambhava, by the way. So, as you know, he was the Lotus Master, 7 years old, found in a lotus in the state of Haryana, which is probably now the Swat Valley region, somewhere near Pakistan and India. So Guru Padma Sambhava technically is not exactly a Himalayan-based, or from the ethnic origin. Is probably from that side, because that's where his history comes to. But obviously he was a very special child, found in a lotus, and then the king took him on as his advisor. And he grew up to do many magical things, and he was very, very important to Buddhism, because when he goes invited to Tibet, that is when he walked along this entire length and breadth. So you can see him walk all the way from the Himachal, the Himalayas, right through to Sikkim, Bhutan, Kalimpong, Darjeeling, all the way into Arunachal. So there when he went, it is said that Bonism was obviously, like I said before, so Buddhism is a very compassionate religion, as you know. We believe too much in compassion, and which is a way to go forward. So karuna, metta. In Pali, metta, non-violence, metta. So rather than ostracize these deities that was already being practiced, he kind of used the Buddhist methods, and Vajrayana is more tantric based, as you know, and tantra can be used for both negative and positive purposes. But we were lucky that it came to Guru Padma Sambhava, that he used his tantric powers to actually, when you come to Buddhist monasteries, do you see some scary figures on surrounding every monastery?
Yeah, like
And all that.
Yeah, they are the
Even the Shidi
Dharmapalas.
monastery.
Yeah, so they are called the Mahakalas and the Dharmapalas.
Yes.
So rather than ostracize these deities, he, with his power, got them to become the protector of the dharmas. So when we do our ritualistic practice, we also say thank you to these deities who were evil first, but then they got converted back into being our dharma protectors. So Guru Padma Sambhava also, I must tell you, and the reason why I love him so much, I think he was the first person to actually empower women with gender equality. Because at a time when women were not given any position, it was a very difficult time for women. You were not to be seen, you know. Women were told, like, you can't even get enlightenment, you better be a man, you can't get enlightened in a woman's body. Guru Padma Sambhava is supposed to have, not supposed to have, it is rightly said that he said, all genders are absolutely capable of getting enlightenment. And I can tell you, more so women, because women are born already out of compassion. They have compassion. So if a woman tries hard enough, then she will be enlightened faster than a man. So that to me is music to my ears. And you must also understand that Nyigma tradition was the tradition that Guru Rinpoche started.
Is it the Red Hat School?
It is the Red Hat School, and the Kagyu is the Black Hat School. So we have the Nyingma, the oldest, then we have Kagyu, then we have the Sakya, and then we have Gelugpa, which is the newest one, which is obviously the sect which His Holiness the Dalai Lama comes from. So we have different lineages. However, I think lineages is just about the different teachers that we have. The actual,
The goal,
the
the
essence
perspective, remains the same.
It's the same. You know, your goal in life, impermanence.
Yes.
We are all breathing today, thank you God. You know, there were so many who didn't wake up today, right? So you never know. So religion, to us
Buddha
Buddhists,
said one thing, like, with the breath you come, with the breath you go.
yes. So impermanence is something that you have to be aware of on a daily basis, and that makes you immortal, so that you don't think like you're going to live forever. So do you have the same face that you had 10 years ago? Do I have the same face that I had 10 years ago? Everything changes, and the earlier you understand it, the better it is. And with the Himalayan region being so esoteric and so special, we feel that we are very, very blessed, because we are exposed to Buddhism from a very young age. Like, I was born into a Buddhist family. From a very young age, I learned it is good to give, not to expect anything when you're doing good for somebody, not to kill, have respect for all sentient beings. In fact, the person or the other factor that you think is your greatest enemy, if you look at it, is your greatest teacher, because if a person is testing your patience, you learn to be more patient, and you thank that person. You helped me overcome my anger, you helped me overcome this. So rather than treating that person as an enemy, you treat that person as your, somebody who's helped you through those times. And personally, to me, that Buddhism has been very, very special to me. It's a part of my life. And to be honest with you, more than a religion, I think it's a philosophy. So if you follow Buddhism, I think any person, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu, you can be a better person. Buddhism does not believe in converting people or turning people into Buddhists. No. You could be a Hindu and still practice Buddhism and be a very good Hindu.
Yeah.
You could be a Muslim, practice certain things. You could be a great Muslim. So we don't have those kinds of things. And with things changing so drastically, and especially technology, I think it can be a boon or a bane. The reason why I'm here in Calcutta as well is because we have a conference.
Yes.
And we are trying to, Buddhism is a very egalitarian religion with the good thing about it is we come from different backgrounds, different countries, different everywhere. But the one thing that binds us together is the common thread of Buddhism and doing good for the entire sentient beings. And that's the reason why I'm here. And what I try to promote from myself is, of course, I'm human. I make mistakes every day. But Buddhism helps me be aware that I'm getting angry or it's an awareness process.
Being
and
aware.
Yeah. So if it's made me a better person, I can surely say that it would make a lot of people better. So that is the reason why we are here, and to promote Buddhism in such a way that it gets to the younger generation in a time of tablets and mobile phones.
And we also have this connection with Robert Thurman.
Oh, Mr. Thurman, yes.
So and he translated the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Dead, of course.
So the Bardo Todo.
Of course.
Would you want to say something more on that, on that aspect? Because that is a very
Bardo,
strong
of course.
thing of Nyigma tradition.
Nyigma, you're right. So I've told my family, when I die, please don't do a shortcut and do it for 13 days. I want my 49 days.
Yeah.
Right? So the Bardo Thortol, Guru Padma Sambhava was such a great teacher that he wrote things for the future. And if you have been, you've said...
Still there are a lot of termas which...
The termas, yes. Yes, I'm so happy that I'm talking to you because these words are like music to my ears because I have to keep explaining to people, right? Yeah. So the termas and the tertons. Termas, as you know, are the hidden scripts. Tertons are the ones who find it.
Yeah, destined.
Destined. And the reason why Vajrayana is very important is without a woman, these things would have never been possible.
Yeah, the Dakinis are
yeah, so Yeshi Chogyal, who was his primary consort from Tibet, obviously, I take a lot of inspiration of Khandroma Yeshi Chogyal. We call her Khandroma because she's a very, very, very highly enlightened being for us. She is responsible for all the transmissions of the Nyigma lineage. Without her, the Dzogchen tradition would never be there.
Transmission.
So she has, we have hidden messages in the air, water, in all the elements. So you could be looking for it in bayous, as you call it. It's hidden lands, Hidden lands. You could look for it anywhere, and you have to be very special to be able to get the termas and the tertons. Like the Vajrakiliya practice was just written in 40 pages of paper.
Yeah.
So that tradition is very, very important for us.
That's why Yeshi Chogyal, the one that he practiced Mahamudra?
Yes. So Yeshi Chogyal was his primary consort, but then you've got to remember you've got from Chopema Revalsa, he has Mandalva. Yeah. And then you have Kalasiddhi, and then we have Tashikuden from Bhutan, and then we also have Bhumi Sakya from Nepal. So there are two from Nepal, one from thing. And when you talk about this, people say, oh, I think there was one Indian guru who said, oh, he's not a guru, he's got many women, right? But it's the way you look at things, right? So, when you see a union of the Mahamudra, what is a man? The man is compassionate activity. The woman is the wisdom. Yeah. And only when these two things come together will you open the pathways to knowledge, which is very high for lay people like us to talk, because this goes on the level of quantum physics now.
Absolutely.
So, we are the shunyata, the emptiness, at least we've decided to agree that emptiness and shunyata comes along on the same kind of thing, right? So, Vajrayana tradition, people might find it magical. They even call it crazy Buddhism. Do you know that?
Yeah.
In the West, it's called crazy Buddhism, right? Yeah. Which is fine to us because, what's crazy and what do you describe crazy as? Yeah. So the 49 days, the Bharata Turtle is very, very important to us because even as a layman, if you read the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I think in today's world, you have a lot of self-help books, right? How to be a rich person, rich guy, poor guy, who ate my cheese? Bharata Turtle is the only self-help guide to die.
Yes.
And what happens. And
that's what Robert Thurman also said.
And what you take from there, right? So it's a 49-day of absolutely taking you through the different realms. And in Vajrayana, we practice this quite a lot. So we are aware of which deities we might be seeing when we go. Some are very scary, it might be scaring you. And the 49 days is just to guide you through that.
And also cognize the clear light.
Clear light of the day.
Clear light of the days.
Yeah.
So I don't have to say much to you. You guys know about it, right? Super happy, I must say, to be able to share my experience.
Yeah, like
with
when
you.
I had been to Sikkim, like I had stayed in the original Tibetan person's house.
Wonderful.
And when I talked about all this, he was saying like, you know about Buddhism more than me.
That's
So,
correct.
like,
It's I mean, to words like termas and tertons and dzogchen, it's very. There's not a lot of people who talk about these things.
yeah,
right?
and his name was Saring. I said your name means long life. He said, you know that
Yes.
even.
No, well, it's excellent. Like, see, like I say, Buddhism is karmic as well.
Yeah.
So you know these things. Why? How? Why have you got an interest? Why have you got an interest? Why have you got an interest? Right? It's karmic. You've been here many times.
Yes.
And you're trying to reconnect. Maybe the four of us have a karmic connection somewhere.
That's why we are here.
That we are
Yeah.
together discussing this. Like my delegates today who've come, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia. So with the World Alliance of Buddhists, which is where we actually work a lot, is the world. If you know World Alliance of Buddhists,
It's
huge
Thailand.
conglomerate, right? So we are here not for any selfish purposes. We are here just to help each other, to promote each other's traditions, stay together in terms of Buddhahood and Dharmahood, and also bring some kind of joyous merits to the world.
Yes.
Like today we spoke in Alipur College. Out of those students, even if 5 students understood the concept of what we were trying to bring, and if it changes their lives, I think I
a
don't
big
mind the
achievement.
heat.
That's a big
I don't expect the entire people to understand that, but even if one understood what
I
it
also
was,
believe
I
that,
think
ma'am.
that is quite important. And this is what we do in Dharma. So Vajrayana, see, I work with a lot of Theravadians, right? So a lot of Theravada, and I love their discipline. I love their way of life,
Yes.
the respect. And they actually love our way of doing things. So we're bringing these two together to see. Buddha said, what is Buddhism? It's on different levels. Why?
Buddha and
You could
Bodhisattva
understand
coming
it.
together.
Yeah, you can understand Buddhism in your level,
Yeah, yeah.
whichever way you
Whichever
want.
way.
You understand Theravada better? Please follow that lineage. You understand Vajrayana better? Follow that. You understand Mahayana better? Follow that. So there are teachers with different teachings for different followings. So it's entirely up to you. Buddhism gives you responsibility to you. There is no God who's going to come and save you.
Yes.
Like in the major religions where you pray to the supreme God who will come and save you. No.
Yes.
Your actions
Determine
Yes.
what
It's your own
determine.
choice.
It's your own choice what you are. And I think that really helps in logically leading today's life and everything as well, which I hope answers your question.
Yes.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
to
so
give
much
your
for giving us
precious
time, and I hope
and
we will
know
connect in
that
future.
You're
I'm sure.
very
I'm
tired.
sure.
It's a long day,
Yes,
but
I'm-
still, we are very happy that we could do this.
Yes.
Such a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to have met you, and you too. Keep on your Pink Floyd t-shirts going on, because that's my absolute favorite band. I think
Yeah.
music is something that connects everybody as
Yes.
well. Please stay in touch. Have you given